high gas prices, high food prices. This is inevitable, you see. All part of the plan to have all cars use electricity. Let's talk on the mic. Hello, hello, good people. This is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Communicator, Mr. Free Thinker, coming back at you live once again from the Lone Star State with another edition of the Media Mike Speaks. All right, good people, it is 3 minutes past the hour, and yes, we are the voice of the everyday citizen. All right, good people, strap in, buckle up, because this may be a little long here. The reason Sleepy Joe Biden says there's nothing he can do about gas or food prices. So let's talk about it. Now, President Joe Biden said Wednesday there is little he can do to lower the cost of gasoline or food in the immediate term, in acknowledgement that prices for those goods will remain high as he works to bring down other costs incurred by families. He quotes, good people, there is a lot going on right now, but the idea we're going to be able to click a switch, bring down the cost of gasoline, is not likely in the near term, nor is it with regard to food. Well, sir, the problem is there's a food shortage. Not saying that people don't like to pay high dollar for food, but at least if they have it, they can find the money. But we're talking about a shortage here, and you're talking about prices. Anyway, with Sleepy Joe Biden and his term seeking to place heavy emphasis on the economy in the coming weeks, the president looks to demonstrate his commitment to reining in inflation, even as he says there's not much he can do. The president has tasked his aides with improving the administration's message as he watches his approval ratings sink. Yep. Now, I didn't vote for the man. I didn't vote at all, actually. But for those who did, come on, go ahead and say it. Shake your head. Now, his plan has centered on following the Federal Reserve, the necessary, giving them, I guess, allowing them the necessary independence to combat inflation through monetary policy. But he has conceded there was little he could do alone to bring down the highest profile cost spikes. As I said, Mr. President, it's not about really the spikes. It's really about the having the food in stock. Baby formula, things like that, milk, things like that. So anyway, he goes on to say, we can't take immediate action that I'm aware of yet to figure out how we're bringing down the prices of gasoline back to $3 a gallon. We're not going back to $3 a gallon, people. We're not. The lowest we may get is 4, but it's going to jump back up to 5. And we can't do that immediately with regard to food prices either, he said. And could it be because the plan is to ban all fuel efficient cars by 2030? Things that make you go, good people, you better look that up. Now, he pointed to the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the ensuing effect on energy and grain as the culprit. Okay. He goes on to say, we're in a situation where because of a war in Ukraine, gas prices and food prices are extremely high. Okay. This is what the man says. He continues to say, for example, we got millions of tons of wheat that is not able to get out and get to market. It's causing everything from a loaf of bread to cost so much money to food shortages all across the world. Well, first of all, pardon me, sir, I'm not concerned about food shortages across the world. I'm concerned about people in the United States of America. He goes on to say, and so we're trying to work through a war that you got involved in. We're trying to work through how we can get that harbor open and get the, tens of thousands of tons of grain that are there, unquote. But he also sending tons of grain and food to other countries. Okay. The same with gasoline, he goes on to add. We have the issue that is occurring now. You have Europe deciding they're going to further curtail the purchase of Russian oil, and there's a lot of consideration going on about what can be done to maybe even purchase the oil, even at a limited price, so that it has to be sold. Overwhelming need for the Russians to sell it, and it would be sold at a significantly lower price than the market is generating now, unquote. Mr. President, the people are not concerned about all this stuff you're talking about. What they want is the food stocked on the shelf. Simple as that. Okay? Biden said instead of direct action to bring down gas or food prices, he was looking to ease financial burden in other areas like drugs and childcare. He says, but we can compensate by providing for other necessary costs for families by bringing those down. That reduces the inflation for their family, he said. He said he would discuss this issue further on Thursday. And good people, while we are waiting on a response from Sleepy Joe, let me read you this. The U.S. government is paying farmers to destroy crops in order to create a food shortage. In the summer of 2021, rumors started to circulate on social media that the U.S. government was forcing farmers to destroy their crops. The federal government of the United States is offering farmers 1.5 times the value of their crops if farmers destroy those crops. If farmers decline the offer, that same government will stop all farm subsidies for refusing. You heard it with your own ears. This came directly from a guy whose family owns a farm. He goes on to quote, they're trying to create a food shortage. Well, they are doing it. Holodomor 2.0, guys, this is his words. It can happen again. The same people that have brought you 100s of millions of dead last century using famine are in power now in the U.S. and most of the world. They use food as a weapon in places like Ukraine and the former Soviet Union, and now they're going to try to do the same thing here in the United States. Now, good people, if you don't know what Holodomor is, listen up. You see, Holodomor was one of the worst crimes against humanity and was a man-made famine in Ukraine in the 1930s known as Holodomor, orchestrated by communist dictator Joseph Stalin. Look this up, good people. Holodomor, Holdomer. Almost a century later, another autocrat in Moscow is about to inflict global famine on us. Holodomor, literally death by hunger, was a manufactured famine in Soviet Ukraine that occurred between 1932 and 1933 and killed millions of Ukrainians. The number of 7 million has been accepted even by Russian in a UN document dated 2003. Look this up. Could it be that our own government is using the blueprint to do the same thing here? And they, meaning the government, is using heat waves that they are probably controlling along with climate change as an excuse. The Biden administration announced on Wednesday, 21st of April, that it would expand a program that pays farmers to leave land fallow, part of a broader government-wide effort to cut greenhouse gases emissions in half by 2030. The new initiative would incentivize farmers to take land out of production by raising rental rates and incentive payments. So the farmers won't use that land to plow. Therefore, no crops will grow, good people. Yep, this is where we are. Something to think about. Something to think about. Remember, good people, information is power. And the one who has the information has the power. Until next time, this is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Communicator, Mr. Free Thinker. Subscribe, share, and like to keep me rocking on the mic. Have a good night.
I'll understand you soon, it won't be long. Keep on, keep running.